from pencils to different kinds of markers, to regular, I don't use this kind of a pen much anymore, but I did at one time. That's a scratchboard thing, if you've ever done scratchboard. Brushes, that one was in white paint before, which is nice. It's the only good possible hand rendition of Control-Z is a tube of white paint, which is all about the show. It's all about the show. Very fine quill pens. This one is a brush pen, which allows me to do very fine lines and really thick ones if I want to, which can be very handy and akin to a regular brush. Go down to level 2. Erasers on occasion, we do make mistakes. Level 2, regular ink, different kinds of fine line markers and pens. I'm going to talk about line quality a bit. William, who's busy filming me constantly, hope he actually gets some of this information besides watching it later on video. I adamant about line quality, and let me kind of show you an example here. I have something on which to mark with. Well, I'll use one of these. And two things. Let's see, 01. Really nice fine lines this thing gives. You can barely see them, I'm sure. But it gives me very fine lines, which are really nice because I like really delicate fine line work. The only problem with that will be in terms of storyboarding, and when we put it up on the wall, these lovely fine lines are going to disappear. So you're going to need something stronger so that they'll hold their own from even the distance of where you are right now. Because the problem that we run into all the time as far as drawing is concerned, when we do our drawing, we're this close, right here. We're kind of in love with it, right there with it the whole time. And these lines that this pen gives you are pretty good this close. But in terms of presentation purposes for the group and for the people that are going to evaluate your work, they're normally going to see it from a little bit of a distance. Secondarily, too, if you digitize it and you just scan the work, once again, if it's too fine a line, the scanner, as good as they are, won't hold it. It'll wash out a little bit, especially if you do anything in Photoshop with it. You can immediately wash out areas. You can even take, in Photoshop in the scanner, you can even take fine, beautiful pencil work and with just a tiny little manipulation, make it look like ink. Which wasn't the plan when you're drawing the piece. Ideally, when you're scanning a piece and putting it in your portfolio digitally, it'd be good to hold the integrity of the work itself. What you actually did begin with, not the gifts the computer sometimes will give you. Sometimes the computer gives you good gifts, then you can use them. But on the other hand, it's sometimes detrimental because repeating the gift is a challenge. And your objective is to show kind of some work to somebody and then be able to do that work over and over again for them and or improve it as time goes by. And so that little fine line one, I'm going to put that away because I probably don't need it as very much. Because there's even an 0500 or something like that. It's going to be way small. 508. That's probably much bigger. Much bigger, stronger line. Still not very dark compared to what I could show you with this kind of medium or something like that, and or with a paintbrush. And flip that just up for a second. And any piece of paper will do. As an example, here's this character. And the character itself, let's draw half of him. Try to think, I'm drawing this guy's hat, and it's going to begin someplace and end someplace. So I'm trying to make complete lines and making them come together in a manner that works cleanly and neatly. regular pencil with an eraser on it helps. Sometimes the paper lifts a little bit, you know, and it ends up you can't see the little drawing very well. And my big thumb in the way really is an ugly thing to look at, but something like a pencil back or a rubber eraser really works really well to hold the paper down. That's under Hidden 101. And there's this little cartoon guy. And there's things I'm doing right now bother the hell out of me in terms of quality and line quality, things like that. You see this little glitch right here? See how actually that's part of the pen too, by the way. You find rather quickly markers and things like that bleed. You know, if you put a pencil down or a nib down like this, you see how it just like it starts to grow on its own. So sometimes some kind of markers aren't as good a material to use. I don't have the cup of water right now. Where'd the top go? Oh, there it is. Okay. But ink. When working with regular ink, one of the big tricks is not to take a bath, whenever possible. You know, I usually have everyone, we do a thing with ink in my life drawing class the first week of school, and invariably someone's going to end up with a pair of jeans that are garbage after the one class is over, you know, because accidents happen, you know. But years and years ago, Stories 101 from Kevin, I had an opportunity. Anyone here heard of Frank Frazetta? I should go get a book of his work. Comic book artist, actually. Illustrator, comic book illustrator. Did beautiful paintings. And when he was even a teenager, he already had a syndicated comic strip going out to like 50, 60 newspapers. And he penciled all kinds of characters, and one of them was Tarzan early on. And this is in the 1950s or so, 60s, somewhere in that vicinity. And Frank had some pages. He did a Tarzan up comic book pages. You know, they're pieces this big. And I mentioned the word line quality a bit ago. And the truth is, the line quality of Mr. Frazetta's work, Mr. Frazetta, is fabulous. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. And of course, I was 12 years old. I was a kid, you know, and so I asked the obvious question when I met the God himself. I said, Frank, what kind of pen did you use to do those beautiful lines? I mean, I recognize good work. You know, you notice that. You see it. You're artists. I recognize the good work. And Frank said, oh, don't be a jackass. You use a brush. You know, it's the beautiful fine line work. Incredible work. He says he used a brush, so I thought, well, I better start using a brush. And so for me, when I'm doing inking, let's just try it again right here with a brush. And something that the brush gives me that, and I'm moving a little faster than I should. That the marker doesn't. And my hand works. Do it for real. Two things. It's a good idea to have something off to one side. I can figure out what's in the brush, and I don't get any gifts at the wrong time.